What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mind Body Attraction. So in this episode, I want to talk about no contact is a long process. I know. It sucks to hear that because you want your ex back and you want to have answers and you want to know what's going on and what's going through the mind of your ex or of your boyfriend or girlfriend if they're on the verge of breaking up with you. So no contact is a long process for two reasons. I'm going to talk about number one. Number one is probably one of the worst case scenarios. It is the worst case scenario in the two options I'm going to give you. If you hear screaming, my girlfriend is playing Amnesia right now. So anyway, the first and worst case scenario would be is if your ex is already dating somebody else. So if your ex is already dating somebody else, it's going to take a lot more time for her or him to realize how they really feel about you, because their emotions and their feelings about you are being blocked by the new feelings and the newness of the new relationship they're in with you or whatever. So they're going to be completely blinded by the infatuation. That's what I'm trying to say. So when that infatuation wears off, that's usually when the no contact starts to really ring in. And also, especially if she went on and moved on from you to another man, it takes a couple of months for her to realize what kind of man he is and if he's a strong-centered man or not. If he's a strong-centered man, you're probably fucked, okay? But I'll give you some good news about that. Only like 10% of men out there are really that strong anyways, okay? Number two is just if they just broke up with you kind of out of nowhere and blindsided you, you have a lot more to work with here, okay? And in my earlier video, I mentioned if they cut off contact with you and they block you on everything and they're dating somebody else, you're pretty much fucked. But if you can still make it work and you can still get them back if you completely flip the script, right? But you have to fix shit right away if that's the case, okay? Now, if they blindsided you and left you out of nowhere, you have to fix your stuff, and you can actually take the time. You can actually make some mistakes here. I've seen it work, even if some mistakes were made, because, like, honestly, some of the coaching sessions I've been doing, these guys are making mistakes, and they're still hearing from their ex. And it's not what I want them to hear, or I want them to be hearing, or what I want them to say to the guys that I'm coaching, but it's progress, right? So no contact is one of the longest processes because it's going to feel long to you. It's going to feel like you'd probably rather have a physical bone be broken than go through heartbreak. It's going to feel a lot longer because like say a month would normally just kind of go by. It's going to feel that much longer because you are hurt and you are having a really hard time. And when you have a hard time in life, your life just tends to kind of drag on a little bit. So it's going to feel even longer. And that other person is not even thinking about you right now. They're not even thinking, they're thinking about them and they're thinking about their freedom, their newfound freedom that they have from you and the relationship. They don't even miss you yet because you jump right into missing. It's like a complete opposite sides of the spectrum. They're going to jump in and completely revel in the fact that they're free. Whereas you completely miss them and you want to fix the situation. So you feel this complete dread. They're feeling complete joy. They're like, nobody's 100% sure they ever want to break up. But if she's really sick of you, or you just keep doing something wrong over and over and she's just tired of you, she'll feel awesome at first. That's when the no contact rule will give you the best chance for her to feel that anxiety between you, the space between you, which will cause anxiety for her to reach out to you. Because if she feels like she loses you because of her, if that means something to her, that's when she'll reach out to you and be like, you know what? I really fucked this up. You were actually a great guy. Remember what I said when everything's attraction? Well, attraction grows in space. And when there's respect, when you respect the space finally, and they have that time away from you, that attraction level will go back up, okay? Only if you are doing everything right. Now, if they're with someone, that attraction level, it could still go up because they will probably think of you here and there, might see you on social media or whatever. But again, they're blinded by the infatuation of this new person. And a lot of the times what ends up happening is it's like their attraction level went down and then they dated like they were dating somebody else and whatever happened between them didn't work out. And then their attraction level for you skyrockets again. And it's like kind of like a rebound, right? It's like a weird situation, which I've seen a couple of times. Now, this might happen to you. And what I would suggest that you do if you are in that situation, if they come back to you, I would take your time, because you don't know what so you want to kind of put them through a probation period of like maybe 60 days or 90 days. If they broke up with you and then came back to you right after you knew that they were dating somebody else and they kind of fizzled out, because you don't know if they're coming back to you for genuine reasons or if they just want to come back just to, have somebody to have sex with or whatever. And then you now have like, you're like, oh my God, they're back. And your heart's like filled with love again. And then, a couple more months goes by and now they're with another person again, right? You were just that person that they always could rely on for, security. Now, you do not want that in that way. You want a woman to feel secure with you when she's in love with you, when she is completely in her feminine, when she's at the max attraction level for you. That's okay. But you don't want her to feel secure for you as a friend or as somebody, an ex or something like that, right? It's a bad way to go. So no contact is a long process. It can take a lot longer than you think. A lot of other dating coaches out there are saying 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days. And like if the 90 days is kind of long. Like if I absolutely had to put a number on it, I would say 120 days. I did tell one of my mentees that 90 days is probably okay, but I would stretch it out and say 120 days. And there's a reason why. That's 4 months. That's 4 months. That's a quarter. That's a long time. Now, I have personally experienced people reaching back out to me after 8, 9 months, 10 months. Okay. That's a long time for somebody to go through emotions and date someone else, and kind of live life a little bit. The shortest amount of time was like a week, 2 weeks. So I've had some fucked up relationships in the past. Hence why I wanted to learn this stuff so I could teach it so other people didn't have to go through it, right? I really wanted to, I've always wanted to do this since I was like probably 20. It can take a lot longer than you guys think. And I don't want you guys to be discouraged by little actions that they might be breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? They might be kind of giving you a little bit to work with and you're like, okay, it seems like they're coming back. Maybe it's working. And, maybe she will come back. And I'm going to write breadcrumbing down. And they're going to make you feel like it's okay, but then out of nowhere, you're like, shit, they're leaving again. So I want you guys to be careful, okay? And just assume that no contact is going to take a long time. And once you get that through your head, if they actually do come back sooner, then you'll be pleasantly fucking surprised, okay? And then it's a lot easier to live like that than to be disappointed every fucking month where they don't reach out to you. That's it for this video, guys. No contact does take some time, so make sure you're prepared. Join the email list. Follow me on all my social media. It's down below. And I love you guys. And if you need my help, email me or call me. Especially if you have a problem with this issue. If you have a problem with your no contact, you don't know what to do, and you're freaking out, call me. I will set up a call with me, okay? A paid coaching session will be the best way for you to get on your success path, okay? And then we can talk about it there. And I pay very close attention to everything. I write everything down now. I actually had a coaching session where I wish I wrote everything down because he had a lot of questions. I told him just to go into it, and then he kind of went into it, and I wish that I wrote everything down and then answered little bits and pieces, maybe stuff that he forgot to ask me, but it's all good. So I write everything down now. I kind of pause and say, okay, I'm going to write that down, whatever's important. And then you have permanent email coaching when you do this with me. That's huge because I want you guys to have success. So if you got problems, see, now I know a couple of my coaching, most of my coaching people, I know their issues. So they can be like, hey, Kyle, like I got this problem. Like, what should I do in this situation? See, I know all of their past, and I can just read through my email and be like, oh yeah, you had that issue. Just do this. Just work on this instead. And then we can go from there. And then then you'll have success. Okay. You'll have constant coaching and constant success with me, and I'll be able to fucking take you guys to the moon with your relationships. Okay.